Welcome to the channel and welcome to another 40k Faceoff. This Faceoff sees some plucky orcs against some terrifying Zoanthropes. So for the Tyranids, we've got some fairly vanilla but very well painted Zoanthropes here, facing off against this little ragtag warband of orcs. Because there's only 3 of them, these guys will only get to cast one psychic spell or, power every turn, which is a bit of a limitation. We're going to have to, really make those psychic tests count. They know Psychic Scream and they know Smite. Basically, they just want to be, mortal wound machines. They don't do a lot in close combat. They only get 1 attack each. They're not very strong. They do have 3 wounds each. Basically, the orcs are going to try and go in and smash them up, I think. And they're going to have to just try and smite their way free. So for the orcs, starting with the Killer Can, I gave him a Can Claw, which gives him increased strength in combat. We'll say that's the Can Claw, just 2 little pincery bits. And also a Custom Mega Blaster. That can do a lot of damage, but it can also hurt him potentially if he rolls a hit roll of 1. Next up, we've got 2 Orc Bikes. These are sort of the people riding the bikes are melee only, but they do have guns on the bikes. What do they have? They have custom shooters. The guy at the front is the boss knob. Sorry, he has a power claw and custom shooter. The guy at the back who's hiding his shame without the paint job. Sorry, he's very sooty. He's been down the mines. What's he got? He's got a chopper, Daka gun, slugger, and stick bombs. Here we have a boss knob, and he's basically also has a power claw and custom shooter. So yeah, that's the face-off here. I don't know, points-wise, it's very similar. It's 139 points to 135 points. The Zoanthropes are 135, the Orcs are 139. So really low points level, but, we'll see what happens here. I'm expecting, the Warbikes are basically going to have to charge in and try and hit. The Zoanthropes are going to get mortal wounds down on them, and they're basically going to have to just try and kill all the Orcs as they come at them. If the Orcs get into close combat, then I think if they can all get in, then it's the end of the Zoanthropes. So we're just going to have to, see what happens. That's the fun of these face-offs. So we are set up. We got a green dice, we got a purple dice. Let's go. Let's roll off and see who gets to go first. It's going to be the Nids. So for the setup of this, basically these orcs had stopped for lunch. Orcs like to eat. Orcs love to eat. And they sensed even in the distance some presence. And there, from out the ground, came the Zoanthropes. 40k Faceoffs. Orcs v Tyranids. Tyranids to go first, let's go. So, the Tyranids are actually out of range for smiting even at 24 inches. So, they're actually going to close the distance. They get a 5-inch move, and that might just get them within range to smite or Psychic Scream. After movement, just checking range there, and they are only just within 24 inches of those Warbikes there. In case you're wondering how close it is, there's a bit of a bow in that there, and that's basically where 24 inches ends up, and it does only just get them in range of the Warbikes. So now they are going to attempt, they haven't got any shooting, so we are going to do some Psychic. So Smite now being cast on the Warbikes. It has a power level of 5. So they basically need 5 or more on D6 in order to pass. If it's a 10 or more, the unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. If it's a pass, it does D3. Doubles are perils. That's a 7, so that's a pass. Now, D3 mortal wounds on the Orc Warbikes. Well, how many did we get? 3 wounds. The Warbikes have 2 wounds each, and so basically Sooty at the back gets taken out of there, and we're left with 1 wound on this Warbike. And with that, that is the end of turn 1 for the Tyranids. So we're going to move on to turn 1 for the Orc. So in true Orc fashion, in the movement phase, I think what we're going to do is actually everybody's going to advance and shoot whatever they can to just try and kill and smash and, do bad things to these Tyranids. Warbikes first, so they get a base move of 14 inches, which is absolutely huge, and then we're going to go plus D6. So, wow, 18-inch move. He's absolutely gunned his engines up there and within spitting distance of the Zoanthropes now, which is really good news for the Orcs, if he can do anything from there. So next we're going to have the, is it the Boss Knob? Has a move of 5, he's going to go plus D6. 6 inches, okay. And for this guy, let's see what he gets. He's got a base move of, what, 6 plus 4. Okay, so 10 inches. That's it for movement, and as you might expect, the war boss, or the Orc Knob, sorry, on foot is at the back. The one on the bike is way up in their grills, and the killer can basically doing whatever it can to get over there. So first up, we're going to do our war bike shooting. So we're going to have 6 shots. Because he advanced, it's going to be hitting on 6s. Any 6s are dackers. Pretty good shooting there. 1 dacker. Let's see if we can get another hit. Nope. Zoanthropes, not very tough. They have a strength 5, the dacker guns. So wounding on 3s. That wounded. So no AP on that gun. Zoanthropes get a 3-up invulnerable. So a 3-up save now to see if that bike with all its dacker has inflicted a wound. And it's a passed save. We gave the Boss Knob a custom shooter, and he's actually out of range. It has an 18-inch range, so he's going to have to wait to shoot. Next up, the Killer Can. So he's going to be shooting his custom Mega Blaster that we gave him. It's going to be hitting on 6s, 6's dacker, and a 1 is a mortal wound inflicted on himself. Yeah, we got some dacker. Let's get another one. No. Strength of 8 against toughness 4 means that it's a 2-up to wound. And it's wounded. These guys get a 3-up invulnerable save because they're absolute cheesemongers. And let's see if they get it. That's a failed save roll, sorry. So yeah, damage getting done. Custom Mega Blaster on this lowly killer can is going to do D6 wounds on this unit of Zoanthropes. How many wounds? Wow, look at that. 6 wounds. You get 3 wounds each, so that one that got through absolutely splattered a Zoanthrope. So that's pretty good, to be honest. That's a third of the force taken away now. So with both sides having gone now, we're going to move on to turn 2 for the Tyranids. So yeah, let's find out if we're going to have calamari for lunch in Orc Town, or if we're going to have some Orc sushi. Zoanthropes are actually going to move back. They only moved forward before, so they could get a smite off, so I'm going to move them back here, I think. Yeah, that should do it. That should keep them in range. And then straight onto smiting. So smite activates on a 5, does extra special things on a 10, and does bad things on doubles. That's 11. Wow. So D6 mortal wounds off this unit. I mean, it's guaranteed to be dead. Let's just find how extra specially dead. Ah, it was only a 1 actually. Okay, cool. So with that, the Orc Warbike, I am sad to say for any of you Orc players watching, is dead. So that's the turn done for the Nids. They're basically doing their job. They're hanging at the back and they're smiting the bejesus out of anybody who gets anywhere nearby. So now we are going to go into the Orc Turn, and in case it needed saying, everybody's going to advance. So let's see, the knob goes an extra 3 inches, and the killer can goes an extra 2 inches. Not that good, really. Orcs have closed the distance somewhat. Let's move on to shooting. Let's see if the knob is in range with his weapon first. So he is actually in range. This is a game of really close distances here, just to show you how close it is. That's how much it's in range by. What was it, like 1/4 of an inch or something like that? So yeah, he's going to get to shoot now. Assault 4, he's going to be hitting on 6s because he advanced. 6s are dackers. Yeah, some dacker there. Yep, 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4, so 4's up. And that's failed. Just a Mega Blaster again. We rolled a 6 to hit before, which was pretty good because it absolutely just splattered one of these in a 1er. So let's go. We're going to need a hit on a 6. Nope, that's pretty much failed. Yeah. So with that, we are on to, yeah, there's no charging happening, so we're going to go into turn 3 for the Tyranids. And honestly, to be realistic, they're just going to go hovering backwards to try and put more distance between themselves and the Orcs and continue to smite. So, absolute dishonourable behaviour, but very smart from the Zoanthropes. They're basically putting more distance between themselves and the Orcs. So we're going to try and smite now. The closest unit is the Killer Can, which has 5 wounds. So we're looking at 5 or more. And that's an 8, so that's passed. 3 mortal wounds off the killer can. Let's see how many it is. 3 wounds off. The killer can is down to 2 wounds. So onto the Orcs turn 3. We're going to advance again, so the knob is going to go an extra 4 inches. That's a bit more like it. The killer can's going to go an extra 3 inches. So after Orc movement, they've basically closed the distance pretty well here. I feel like if the Orcs can survive another turn, they'll eventually get into charge range, and then maybe we're going to have some splattered Zoanthropes. So yeah, let's move on to shooting for the Orcs. Custom shooter on the knob there. He is going to be hitting on 6s. Nope. One shot with the absolute custom mega cannon there. I think that's its name. Hitting on a 6. Yeah! And we get a daka. Come on, let's have another 6. Oh! So this big gun wounds those guys on a 2. Come on. And it's definitely wounded. Zoanthropes get their 3 up invulnerable now. Let's see how they do. And it has passed. On to Tyranids for turn 4 now. And the Tyranids are going to stay there. This is their last stand, I think. Or are they going to move a little? Yeah, they're going to move to literally. They're going to push things to the absolute limit of where they can go. If there's any Tyranids player watching, I'd imagine that they'd be rooting for me to do that. So that's what we're going to do. On to Psychic Shenanigans. 2d6. 5 for the Smite. And it's only just passed. D3 mortal wounds on the killer can. Will this end the killer can? No, only 1 wound off after that. I think this killer can might be getting into combat next turn. Speaking of next turn, we are now on to turn 4 for the Orc players. So, yeah, they're basically going to move up their base move, and then we're going to have some chargy. So, yeah, let's do some charging. The knob needs a 7 to get in, and the killer can needs a 3 to get in. So I think we'll do the knob first. We need a 7 here to get him into combat. And that's only just passed. We're going to move him up. He is absolutely loving life right now. I mean, what more would he want than this? Whoa! A bit of wobbly model situation there. Let's see if we can get a 3 or more for the killer can. Yep, definitely in. So, look at this. And with that, let's hit some squid. Knob first. He's going to have 3 attacks. These ordinarily hit on 3s, but because it's a big unwieldy thing, it's going to be hitting on 4s. So let's see how many hit. 1 of them. Doubled his strength, so he's going to be wounding on 2s. Failed! Oh, feel for you. The killer can now, it hits on 5s, not as good. 4 attacks, no, 3 attacks, sorry. Hitting on 5s. 2 of them. These wound on 2s. 1 of them passed. Now the killer can, very effective this match to be honest. The Tyranids get a 3 up invulnerable save. And that's passed. Zoanthropes to hit back now. They get 1 attack each. They'll hit on 4s. They've both hit. Should be clear, these guys are hitting the knob. Strength 4 against toughness 5. These are going to wound on 5s. Neither. And with that, we are going to move on to turn 5 now. I feel like somebody has to win this combat, really. So the Tyranids are going to smite, like the mighty smiters they are, on a 5 up. Ooh, failed. So now they get the hit. 1 attack each, hitting on 4s. Both failed. Uh-oh. It's time to get a hitty orcs. So 3 attacks from the can, hitting on 5s. None of them. Attacks from the boss knob, hitting on 4s. 1 of them. Wounding on 2s now. And that's just got through. 3 up invulnerable save for the Tyranids here. And that has failed. The custom claw here, or the power claw, whatever it is that he's got, the big grabby thing on the end there, does D3 wounds. So here we go. This on a 5 or a 6, this is a dead Zoanthrope. That's a 4, so 2 wounds off. 1 of them's left with 1 wound. We now move on to the Orcs turn. So this time with the boss knob, I think we're going to hit first. So 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. Wow, all hit. Wanting 2s to wound now. All. So potentially some dead Zoanthropes going to happen here. These all wounded. 3 up invulnerable saves on the Zoanthropes. All passed. So the Zoanthropes warp field here really saving the day for them. Those 3 up invulnerables really good for keeping them alive, even with these kind of melee heavy opponents. Next we're going to move on to the Killer Can here. It gets 3 attacks and it's going to be 5s with its Can Claw. Let's see if we can do any hurt. 1. And now we want 1 3-up save. Failed. That's a straight 3 damage with the claw on the Killer Can, and so 3 wounds off this guy. He's out of there. Whoops. I think we're on the Orc Turn 5, potentially the last turn of the game, and yeah, what's going to happen here, I wonder. 3 hits with the Killer Can, hitting on 5s. 1 hit. Wounding on 2s. Wounds. 3 up invulnerable save for the Zoanthrope. Passed. Boss Knob now, we're going to be hitting on 4s. He's missed again, all of them. Zoanthrope hitting back against the Knob. He's going to be hitting on 5s. Oh, we would have been 4s. He's missed anyway. So yeah, I mean, we've got a full Zoanthrope on full health. These guys doing okay. I think he lost 1 wound, didn't he? And we're going to move on to the final turn, I think. Turn 6. Zoanthrope trying to smite closest unit. I don't know. We'll say it's the what is it? I think it's probably the Killer Can actually. Succeeds on a 5. It's passed. Mortal wounds. 2. And with that, the Killer Can is actually dead. It was on 1 wound left. So we're left now with this kind of face-off here. Pretty cool, to be honest, of the Knob against this unwounded Zoanthrope. Let's see what happens next. So on a close combat, the Zoanthrope is going to make its 1 single attack at the Knob. We are hitting on 4s. He hits. His strength's 4 against toughness 5. He needs a 5. Fail. So the Knob now, with his 3 attacks, is going to be hitting on 4s because it's a bit unwieldy, that claw. He's done things with it before. Nice. It gives him some pretty strong strength. Doubles his strength. Going to be wounding on 2s, potentially ending it. Oh. Minus 3 AP, but obviously they get their 3 up invulnerable that we've seen plenty of so far. Each one of these that gets through will do D3 damage. So 3 up invulnerable saves. Ooh, could be the end of it. 1 passed, 2 failed. So could this be the end of the Zoanthrope here, and could this just be in the 6th turn an Orc victory? Let's find out. D3 wounds. The first dice. That's 2 wounds. He's down to 1 wound. You know what this means, ladies and gentlemen. D3. Let's see how many wounds he's going to take off. Boom! Doesn't get more emphatic than that. And with that, the Boss Knob carries the day for the Orcs. He was slow in getting there, but when he did, he really made it count. For quite a few turns, he actually didn't do much with that claw. He really struggled to hit and to wound, and a little bit of embarrassment, I think, for a couple of turns. That's why it took 6 turns. But in the end, he took out that last Zoanthrope and carried the day for the Orcs. So that was another 40k Faceoff, Orcs v Zoanthropes, Tyranids. I really enjoyed doing that one. It kind of went as I'd expected a little bit, I suppose. The Orcs took a little time to get there. They got smited to high heaven. But when they did get there, they did some hitting. Those 3-up invulnerables on the Zoanthropes, just like really formidable, to be honest. Even in close combat, they stop things happening. They're not a close combat unit, but yeah, it just really helps them stay alive. These guys, Orcs, this is the first time I'm playing Orcs the last few 40k face-offs that I've done for a long time, and honestly they're a lot of fun. I love that you get like Daka rules and things like that, and yeah, they're just kind of random and fun. Okay, so just signing off, another 40k face-off on Peacetime Painting. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching up to this point, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and all that business that you're all very sick of hearing about. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a good day, evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thanks for watching.